Most of us think we know the story of Peter Pan, right? He's this charming, carefree kid who whisks children away on a magical adventure to a land where you never, ever have to grow up. But what if I told you the original story by J.M. Barrie isn't a celebration of eternal youth at all? It's actually a warning about its profound and terrible cost.
The book kicks off with this line, probably one of the most famous in all of children's literature. And right away, it frames this one kid, this one exception, as something special, something to be envied. But Barrie, he's playing with us.
Yet what if Peter's fate isn't some grand escape from the burdens of life, but an exclusion from life itself? Because the book argues something pretty profound. To stay a child forever is to be trapped in a state of tragic incompleteness.
To really understand Peter Pan, you have to look past the flying and the sword fights. The most important thing about him, the real engine of his tragedy, is that he can't remember. He lives in this constant, perpetual present. There's no past to ground him and no future to build toward.
This right here, this captures the whole conflict perfectly. On one side, you have the Peter Pan we all think we know, the icon of joyful freedom. But on the other side, there's the boy from the actual book, who is totally isolated by his own amnesia. And this condition, it makes him horrifyingly self-centered. He can't form lasting bonds because he forgets people, he forgets the adventures they have almost as soon as they happen.
And this quote just brilliantly illustrates that point. So after Wendy lovingly sews his shadow back on, which is this huge act of care, Peter completely forgets she did it. He just starts crowing about how clever he is, thinking he attached it himself. See, this isn't just a kid being arrogant. It's a symptom of his condition. He literally can't feel gratitude because he can't form the memories that gratitude is built on.
Okay, so let's shift gears and look at the world Peter invades, the darling household. It's so easy to just write it off as this stuffy place that's worth escaping. But Barrie paints a picture that's way more nuanced. It's an imperfect, anxious, but deeply loving family.
This line is absolutely crucial. It establishes right away that Peter is not a savior. He's a disruption. The Darlings, yeah, they have money worries and social anxieties, but they've built this warm, stable world for their children, a world that's defined by love and taking care of each other.
And you know, the kids' escape isn't caused by some great evil. It's just a chain of these painfully human moments. You've got Mr. Darling wrestling with his own insecurities about being a provider and a man, and he just makes a series of flawed choices. He's not a villain, he's just a father under pressure. And it's his very relatable failings that open the window to a danger far, far greater than any family squabble.
So why does Peter even come to that window in the first place? He says he's there for stories, but his real reason is so much more primal. He isn't looking for another adventurer or a playmate for his gang, he's recruiting.
This is his big pitch. Not, hey, you could fight pirates with us, but you could provide us with domestic comfort. He looks at Wendy and sees the one thing that's totally missing from his world of endless, meaningless fun: a mother.
You see? His offer of adventure? It's a total bait and switch. He promises freedom, but what he's really asking is for Wendy to take on the responsibilities of an adult, to become the mother that he refuses to have but so desperately needs.
And this brings us to Neverland itself. It's so much more than just a magical backdrop. Barrie actually describes it as a physical manifestation of a child's mind, chaotic, imaginative, self-absorbed, and dangerously static.
Just think about it for a second. In Neverland, nothing ever really changes. The pirates are always hunting the boys are always hunting the animals. It's just an endless, repeating loop of games. It's a place without progress because it's a reflection of a mind that cannot grow. And this is the terrifying realization for the Darling children. The games they used to play in the safety of their nursery are now real. Those cannonballs the pirates are firing, they aren't imaginary. There are no nightlights here. There's no mother to come in and say, it's all just make-believe. The fantasy has become a real-world peril.
So when Wendy and her brothers finally choose to leave Neverland, they've learned this incredibly profound lesson. They've seen with their own eyes the true, tragic cost of Peter's eternal childhood. Here it is, the true cost laid out for us. Because Peter can't remember, he can't form a stable identity. Because he avoids all responsibility, he can never experience the deep connection of true love. And because he cannot grow, well, he's not truly living. He's just repeating the same day forever. He's basically a ghost.
So you see, the ultimate power of Peter Pan isn't that it gives us an escape, it's that it forces us to confront why we mustn't escape. The story is a powerful, if maybe unsettling, argument for why growing up is so necessary.
What Barrie seems to be suggesting is that the real adventure isn't fighting pirates in some imaginary land. The real adventure is the difficult, messy, and beautiful process of becoming a person, of building a life, forging relationships, and creating a past that you can actually call your own.
Wendy chooses to go home to get exactly what Peter can never have, a past that gives her an identity, loving connections that are earned through responsibility, and a future, the chance to change, to learn, to experience loss and joy, and ultimately to live a complete life.
And that, right there, is the heartbreaking truth at the very core of this story. The boy who wouldn't grow up isn't an icon of freedom. He's a lonely prisoner of his own eternal, unchanging, and ultimately empty present.